Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. I'm so excited to be here today. And as always, I have something on my mind. And today I want to talk about the missing link to how we learn, live, and lead. Now, most of you know me as a math tutor, math teacher. That's how I started. But I have over the years changed into something very, very, very transformational for myself. I have transformed myself as well as now I help everybody that I work with transform themselves. And if I'm helping someone else, I help them transform themselves. And then if I'm coaching them to become a coach, they become that ripple effect that transform many more lives as well. So that's how my life has evolved over the years. So if you are busy, join me for a few minutes here because I want to share with you something very, very important. A lot of you ask me, you were a teacher, you were a tutor. Why do you call yourself holistic neurogrowth success coach using the blocks to flow? What does that mean? What does blocks to flow even mean? Why do we need it? Why can't I just get my son or daughter or myself a coach or my son or daughter just a tutor? Why can't I do that? Why is this blocks to flow? Do I say that it's the prerequisites to learning, living, and leading? Why do we say that? Why do I say that? Well, I spend a lot of time, a lot of time with this, not just when I was a teacher or when I was a tutor or when I'm a coach in the past years. I've spent a lot of time since I was young. And some of you might relate with me on this. If you were one of those people who had a lot of questions and you're sitting in the classroom or you're in an environment with full of people, but you don't have the voice or you don't have the confidence, but you have so many questions. And the questions are very unique and they're very profound. And they're driven from your curiosity of, well, if someone's saying something, you're like, well, how does that work? What do you mean? But how? And if you're one of those people, if you were like me, who was so shy, who muted myself for many years in the environment where I didn't feel like I belonged, maybe you never asked those questions. Because guess what? I didn't ask them either. Because I thought they were dumb. I thought they were dumb questions. I thought I was stupid to have all these questions when everybody else in that crowd, if it was classroom or if it was a meeting or if it was any other social gathering, everybody seems to be okay with what is being said. Only I had all these questions. What, how, where, why? But how? But why? So what was wrong with me? I started asking what was wrong with me? There must be something wrong with me. Really, there is not anything wrong with any of us who ask questions. We're just looking for answers that could give us more understanding of what's being shared. But if we ask something and the person who is in charge of it, like a teacher or someone leading us, if they don't have the answer, even it could be parent, it could be me. If they don't have my answer, I'm going to say nothing towards it that's going to make sense to that person asking it, or I might just divert it, or I might get anxious and fearful that I don't know this answer, and I might induce that fear onto the person who asked me, making them feel like this is a stupid question. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt someone who couldn't answer your question made you feel like you're the stupid one for asking it? And I say stupid because I grew up telling myself that I was stupid. Why? Because I didn't feel like my questions were validated. I didn't feel like my questions were answered. I didn't feel like I could have the space to open up and ask those questions. And I think that continues to this day for many people. Some people ask questions, but many of us, many of our children, many of you as leaders don't even ask questions. And it continues. It's not to blame anybody. It's just the way it is. So today I want to talk about the missing link to how we learn, lead, and live. Now, we all heard about it in the education field. We all hear about how Finland is always getting it right. The education system over there is really good. Why can we all follow their footsteps? Why can't we create that education system here in United States or Canada or any other country? And where everyone is always about what are they doing right? What is the secret, right? Well, they give lots of breaks. They give lots of breaks so that the people who are learning and who are leading, which are the teachers and the administrators, they don't get burned out. So they give 15 minutes for every 45 minutes of work. So why is that? They understood what I've been talking about in our program, Blocks to Flow, is that we are a living system. This body is a living system. I'm a living system. You're a living system. We have multiple systems that are functioning together to create the person I am today, that's allowing me to talk to you here today, through the other systems in the external worlds that's delivering this to you right now. So I am a living system. I have so many systems that are together, working together to allow me to be in this state with this confidence today to talk to all of you. But this person, when I was 12 years ago, when I was 12 years old, sorry, when I was 12 years old, this system wasn't in this space. It wasn't in flow. These systems that I had, they were all working against me. They were not helping me. So I called myself dumb. I decided to end my life because I didn't understand how my system was working and it was working against me and I didn't understand. And we are made with so many different systems. Now, at that time, I was asked to accelerate, do your work, learn, produce, perform, get results, and I was marked. On top of it, I was given a grade. Now, if my system is off and if I'm asked to perform, I don't even know what systems is off for me. I'm asked to perform, and every system needs a break, and we don't even know what that break looks like. We just have to go, 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 go. That's how I ended up calling myself stupid, and that's how I ended up telling myself that I don't belong in this world. That's just my story. But there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of students and children and adults right now saying the same story. I know. And I'm speaking to those of you who know the story. You've told yourself these stories. So, what Finland has right is that we're a system. They understand that we're a system and we need breaks. So, that's one of the things that they have in their model is giving people breaks. Like I take naps every day and I wake up in my own time frame, sometimes 3 a.m. People look at me like something's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with me. That is what works for me. Will I recommend that to you watching you right now that you should also get up at 3 a.m.? Absolutely not. You know why? Because your system is different. My system is different. That other person's system is different. Your child's system is different. Your spouse is different. Everyone is different. We have to look at it as that we're all different. We all have our own soul print. I cannot impose what works for me to other people. This is something that I always talk about as well. That don't ever think if something works for you, don't give other people advice as it's going to work for them. You haven't customized it. You haven't looked at it holistically, so do not give advices. That's my big thing with me is that I never do that. The second thing that Finland has it right, trust, not controlled. Like teachers are trusted as professionals, and students are trusted as learners. That means they actually have their nervous system at the safety level. If our nervous system is not feeling safe to learn or to lead as teachers, we are going to induce whatever fear or anxiety we're carrying onto that learner. If I'm a teacher, I will induce that to my learner. If I'm a learner, I will induce that to my teacher. So if the nervous system is off, we're not co regulating each other, we're not off. There is no space for learning. At this moment, we're just pushing, pushing, pushing. And guess what? The results of it. You all know it. Think about it. What is the result of this? Push, push, push. What is the result of it? Behaviors. And then we label our kids. They have something, there's something wrong with them. Why are they behaving like that? What's wrong with you? How can you do this? Right? All these things we talk about. But that's not what's happening. What is happening is the safety is not there. So now we have behaviors to deal with that we don't even know how. Next is Finland has it that collaboration is so important over competition. Success is measured by how the whole person grows, not just how you rank the highest or get the highest grade. So they're looking at a holistic evaluation versus just an individualized, standardized way of measuring. And then they also follow calm. Classrooms are designed in a way that actually brings in peace, simplicity, and focus. We need our environment to support what we're trying to actually get into. Have you been in a busy place where you try to focus and you're like, what, how do I do this? Exactly. Have you been in a classroom that's so chaotic that the one or two children are running the show and the other ones don't know what to do? We all seen them, right? So this is what they have it right. So how does our method go beyond this? What do we do? What do we do in blocks to flow that's different? Because that's the question that I want to answer today, because many of you ask me, is this tutoring? Now, why is this not tutoring? Why is what we do in blocks to flow not tutoring? Because in tutoring, I've been a tutor, so I can tell you exactly. In tutoring, a parent, or if you're a parent who's in a class, because I can tutor anybody at any age, in any kind of skill sets you're trying to build. And I was a tutor for math. That's what I specialized in. If you ask me what I specialize in, now if I'm doing that, what you come to me for is when you're struggling in math or when you're struggling in a certain skill, you go to that tutor and ask them to help you. Help you with what? Help you with the homework, help you with the next test that's coming up, help you with an assignment, help you with something that's coming up for that class. Or if you're a leader, you're getting a tutor to help you to learn how to present, whatever the skill set is. You're going with a specific agenda to help you to master that in a short amount of time. What you're doing is you're borrowing the knowledge of me, my knowledge for that time period, and seeing if you can memorize or if you can understand as quickly as possible so you can perform. So when you came to me or any tutors, you're going there for performance based goal. Your goal is going to be what? Your agenda is what? I want to perform. How can you teach me as quickly as possible? Give me as many cheat codes as possible to get me there as quickly as possible. Now, I hated doing this after a while. It was not something I enjoyed at all. Why? Because I don't want to be that person just fix everything at the surface. I don't just want to put a band-aid on. I don't just want to plant a seed that I know the soil is not ready. I know it's not going to take a good root and grow into a healthy tree. I just don't want to build a house without a foundation. I just didn't want to do it. And this was very, very, very hard for me to, just do that work. That's why I shifted to preparing the mind soil. That's why I shifted to building the foundation. Or if the foundation was there, I looked at what was cracking or what is broken or what's missing. That's how I landed on blocks to flow. That's how we got here. So it's actually a evolution of what I was doing up until this point to bring the missing link into learning, living, and leading. So what do we do then? Blocks to flow, we don't start with any content. We're not going to ask you to perform. Because if you're already struggling, we need to figure out why are you struggling. This could be for anybody, any age, any level, any abilities, any skill sets. You could be an adult of 60-year-old or young as a 5-year-old. I don't care who you are. If you're struggling, And if you need some help, and sometimes we don't even ask for the help because we think we're going to be asked to perform. Because who wants to perform when we're struggling? Who wants to perform when we know we're struggling and we're burned out? Who wants to perform? Nobody does. That's not because I'm lazy. That's because I don't know how, and I know my system is struggling, but I don't know what is struggling. So wouldn't it be helpful for me to be ready to perform? Wouldn't shouldn't there be a prerequisite stage before I'm asked to learn? Why can't we create this sacred space where I can spend some time to understand about this body, this system, this being, this soul? Give me the time to get my prerequisites in alignment and in activation so that I can accelerate and perform. Now I can do it while I'm intrinsically motivated. What's wrong with that? Look at that formula. I'm a math teacher, so I'm going to go back to the formula. Look at that formula. Give me this space of prerequisites, plus ask me to accelerate. Give me all the skills that I need to learn and accelerate. Now I'm in flow and focus. My attention is here. I know how these prerequisites work and how this being works. Now give me all of it. Now I add it together. What is it going to equal? It's going to equal achievement. Now, when I achieve, what am I doing? I'm performing. I am producing. I'm in creative mode. I'm intrinsically motivated. Now I know my purpose. How many of you, as parents or leaders or students out there right now, feel like, I don't know what my purpose is? I feel confused, right? Because we don't have this prerequisite. That is the missing link, is the prerequisite to be ready to do something. We all have capacity. There's no bad child, there's no bad adult, there's no bad person. But if we're missing this missing prerequisites are missing, we are going to choose bad path, or we are going to do something that's not in alignment with the rest of the world or society because we don't have the prerequisite. That's exactly what we do in Blocks to Flow, is to make sure that anyone and everyone in this world as a human is ready to perform. Now, performance doesn't start with performance. It starts with the prerequisites, right? Performance is a byproduct of all the prerequisites, and the acceleration that we put in will give us the performance. It's a byproduct. It's always there. It's always available for everyone. So that's what Finland has it right, is giving the break, giving the safety nest, giving everyone the control and the space to learn where they feel supported by the environment. When you put all of that in, what are we seeing? We're all envying a system that looks like, what are they doing? What's the secret? Now we have gone beyond that. Our system, the Blocks to Flow, is beyond, way beyond Finland's system, because what I have created is looking at the systems that are required for that prerequisite phase before we are asked to perform. So before the acceleration happens, we need to do these prerequisites. That's exactly what a Blocks to Flow certified and licensed coach is available to do for any of you. It doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter where you live because we work online. It doesn't matter how old you are, or it doesn't matter what label you've been given, because we don't care about labels. I'm not excusing that labels don't do anything, but we don't look at anyone through the label first. Labels come in when we need strategies, tips, hacks, but even then, that is a generalized strategy, generalized hack support. What we do in our program is customize it. So when we customize it, all we need to know is what? What do I only need to know if I'm going to customize something? Who you are. Where are you at? What are you struggling with? Then, as a coach trained in this method, what am I going to do? Ask questions. That's the beauty of a human being, is the ability to ask questions. That's what we're given. That's our ultimate gift, is ask questions. And you just ask questions without filtering them. Why is that? How is that? But how is that? Again, ask how, but how? Why? Where? When? But why? When we ask these type of questions, among all the information that's coming in from a person, we're able to customize it to their soul print. Now, the soul print is what you were born with. We're all born with our soul print. You know how they say we have fingerprint? We are all born with our own soul print. Now, we don't need to fit into someone else's script. We don't need to fit into a curriculum. We don't need to be standardized into a test to make our soul express through that. If we can do the prerequisites, we can then express through our soul print. And that's exactly what our coaches are trained to do. So today's article, I wrote an article on LinkedIn. If you're following me on LinkedIn, make sure you read that article. I shared how Finland has done so many things right, but we have gone even beyond that to add in the systems readiness, so that this as a learner, this as a living person, this as leading my life, leading others, leading my children, know exactly what that readiness is for me as a person. When you know that yourself, you can accomplish anything. You can learn anything, you can live however you want, and lead anyone in alignment. That's exactly what we do. So, another question that comes up before I close today is that, are you a therapist? Absolutely not. I think I've mentioned several times in my videos that we're not therapists. Therapists have their own set of duties for the clients they work with. We don't overstep. We're not therapists. So how are we different? We're different because therapist has to go back and figure out why there's certain blocks or identities have formed in the past. They need to go and analyze that story, where in the past it happened. What we do is we look at, what are you doing currently? How are you stuck currently? What is keeping you stuck, or your child or anyone else stuck right now? And then we provide the prerequisites, whatever that's needed, the prerequisites and the system alignment and activation, so that you can get into acceleration. Now, when someone is in acceleration, they are focused, they're in flow, and we have their attention. You have your attention. Your attention's not all over the place, scattered. You have a focused, aligned, in flow attention. Guess what happens when you have all of those things in alignment like that? You can achieve anything. You can achieve absolutely anything. So that's what we do. So basically, we're able to work really close with the therapist. We can take the work they're doing into acceleration. We actually work really close with many therapists because we actually can move a person who is blocked and stuck now into acceleration pretty quickly. And most of our program starts with actually, our program starts with 3 months. But even in less than 3 months, some people have seen results and they move into acceleration. Some people take longer because we are what? We are our own soul print. There's no one magic number. If it works for somebody in 2 months, it doesn't mean it's going to work for me in 2 months. My soul print might need 6 months and a year. So that's how we're different from a therapist. We're not tutors because we're not working on your content problem. We're working on who you are as a soul. And we're looking at what is required to express your soul print, not just somebody else's script or somebody else's content. So we're going back to Very simple. This is very simple. If you think about it, it's a very simple missing link. We never got ourselves ready to learn, live, or lead. We just followed some script and we force ourselves to learn, live, and lead. And that's why we're here today in this place where we need to find that again. That's what we're all about. So thank you for listening to me today. We have an event coming up in Scottsdale, Arizona, October 18th. If you want to attend that event, it's a live event for parents. This is our first live event for parents. It's called Parenting in Flow Lab. This is not something you come and collect books and books of notes or pages and pages of notes and go home and then feel like, okay, I have now what situation? We're not going to leave you in that state. That's for another event. Our events are different. This, you will feel it in your nervous system. This, you will leave with the readiness to live your life as a parent and lead your children's life and other people's life, whoever you lead, into flow, right? That's how you're going to leave. You're going to feel it in your nervous system. That's how we want to create this. That's our promise to you. So that's happening October 18th. If you want information, just DM me. I will be sharing links as well. Just watch out for that and register for that. And so many of our coaches will be there to lead you. So we're excited about that. And the other is if you want to book a call with us, because we do offer coaching. Our coaches all are trained and certified and licensed to use the Blocks to Flow method. So if you're interested in that, DM me and I will connect you with the right coach. That would be my job to make sure that what you're looking for and the coach that will serve you are in alignment. So I do that for you so you don't have to do any of that job. You can just leave that to me and I will connect you with the right coach. And we have many, many amazing coaches around the world, across the United States and Canada. So, and if you are looking in different languages, we have French, Spanish coaches as well. So we are diverse. So DM me, and then that's how you can connect with me, or go to holisticsuccesscoach.com and you can find my information there as well. And if you haven't watched our summit, our 5-day summit, that is a vast of wisdom shared in 5 days, over 5 days. It's available to you for free on our Holistic Success Codes YouTube channel. So head over there and watch it for free. It's all yours. And there's so many coaches sharing their wisdom in those 5 days. So make sure to check that out as well. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much. And now we have the missing link to how we learn, live, and lead. And read the article because I shared more information in the article as well on LinkedIn. Thank you. Have a blessed day.